at the end of the day, they've never told me that I've embarrassed them or make them disappointed. You know,
Still time.
it's
Just
this is hey, fuck you, man.
Nah, let me stop. White Stone to see a classic movie to be, but too young were we for Bruce Willis stories.
podcast and stuff. We started. Boom.
Boom.
Yeah, man.
So it's like that.
That's it.
Awesome.
Yeah, man. Who am I here with?
You're here with Jenna Garza.
Who is
Jenna Garza?
Yeah.
Is that the question?
Yeah, man.
Of the night?
Yeah.
Excellent. I'm like, fuck. I don't know. I mean, there's the stereotypical, I'm a barber, I'm a hairstylist in San Antonio.
Well, real quick, I like that you said barber first.
I did.
That differentiates you from everyone else out there.
I am duly licensed. I went to school twice.
Shout out to me too. I was the model at the barber one.
He was a very good model indeed.
First and maybe last time I was a model at anything in my life.
You did great, man. I passed.
Oh, I'm not saying I didn't do great. I know I was fantastic. I'm just saying that might be the only time I'm asked to be a model.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough. That's it. Hey, at least you got asked once. Some of us have not been asked at all.
I'll take it. I know.
Remember that.
I know. I do. In my heart. You know, I'm like,
in my heart, in my soul.
Yeah, I remember that one time I was a model. You know.
Yes, and I made that.
It's not as easy as it's as the spotlight and the TV makes it seem. You have to be still, be silent, and listen to people. It sucks. You have to be so quiet in that room. You can fucking hear a pin drop. So. Yeah, man. But no, continue. Barber, hairstylist.
Barber, hairstylist. Obviously, I'm more into hair cuttery than I am color. I do work for Moxie Hair Salon, and they are big time on color correction and stuff. But while I am in a world of color, I am learning to love that world, thanks to my boss. But I still get my giggles from haircutting every day. I love it. Haircut days are the best. So
I never even thought of that. Like, so it's our how are like the other people like do they or maybe also prefer the haircutting versus coloring or?
I think there are a few people who, while they enjoy haircutting a lot, they have an equal amount of love for color, and maybe it's a little more balanced for them. I don't know. I personally don't really get to see a lot of strive for haircutting knowledge, just because it is such a person-to-person experience, that I think once you really understand haircutting and you get into it, it starts to become a love for you, and then yeah. Just depends on what your heart wants to do that particular day. I think the world has a funny way of evening itself out, so you're not too bored.
And the universe. All right. First mention of the universe.
The galaxies. Yes.
Yo, so you probably like, I've told you this already before, but you probably like one of the few people I know, considering like I'm in like this little art world and stuff. So a lot of us, in order to make it, we need to be like big timers. But you're probably one of the few artists I know who is actually doing what they want to do. And like able to make a living off of it.
Yeah.
Tell me about that. Like when you even made that choice, like, hey, I'm gonna go this way.
Well, I mean, I knew I couldn't sit down. Like, I'm not a desk person, and I knew I couldn't be in a field where I wasn't going to be able to use my hands or my imagination. And while dealing with the social masses wasn't necessarily ideal, it definitely was part of the made the transition a little bit harder when I decided that I did want to do hair, but it gives you such a satisfactory of doing something well for another person. And I'm a firm believer that, you know, if I do 1,000 people's hair and none of them remember my name, but they remember what I did for them, like I'm gonna be cool with that. That's fine with me. So I don't know. I'm lucky to love what I do. I lucked out, really. I did, and I fought for it, and I guess that's why, you know, I argued with my parents about going to college and business school, and told my dad, like, I'll do it if you want me to do it, but essentially, you're gonna be wasting your money because I don't want to own my own place. I just want to do and create for people. That's what I want to do, and so I fortunately got the opportunity at Moxie and assisting, and that's just kind of where it kick-started from there. And you genuinely have to understand and accept the fact that you start from the bottom at any place that you're at.
That Drake career life.
No, yeah. And I mean, sometimes you're lucky enough to have known somebody to, you know, kickstart your passion a little earlier. I work with a young lady, Genevieve, who has been in the world her whole life. And
Jen, right?
Yeah, Jen.
Okay. All right.
She's been in the industry her whole life. She grew up in it. Her mom owned her own nail salon.
Triple OG.
Yeah,
Okay.
she knows what she's talking about. But even she is working for somebody at this point because she knows that at the end of the day, that's what she likes to do. And it's a lot of hard work. You make your money. It's a lot of hard work, but if you like it, it's not going to be that hard. So, I don't know. I started my career at 19, so it was different for me from other people. My fellow friends still being in college and being able to go out all the time, it was like, I work in the morning.
Yeah.
Bye. Like, you didn't really, I kind of didn't get to do the whole teenager thing. And then when life came around and hit them in the face, I was already ready for it. And I watched a lot of them struggle with it. And it was kind of like, I remember that. It was hard to make that decision. It's not easy, but you do it because you want to, not because you have to.
You know, that transition from college to not college sucks.
No shit. Like, you're like, fuck, I have to work. I have to make money and support myself. What is this shit? Like,
yeah, like it's ass. It
really is ass. Like, when your parents tell you when you're a child not to wish you were an adult so quickly to enjoy your childhood years, it's like you kind of scoff in their face.
I don't know if I'm ever gonna have kids, but I'm gonna be like, the minute they have interest in anything, I'm gonna be like, yo, man, I'm gonna force them. Well, not force them, but like try to let them engulf themselves in it to see if they really like it or not. Because man, seems like nowadays if you become godlike at whatever it is you like, you can monetize. Even if it isn't $8 billion, if it's enough to make a living, that's like, what more, you know, do you want? You know,
that's exactly it. It's like, if you definitely don't work. You don't live to work. You work to live. That's best way to do it. Otherwise, you're just gonna forever be unhappy seeking this financial trail that's just infinite. And I don't want to spend my life chasing infinite. I'm like, that sounds horrible.
Last 2 years of my like work life were like, it's not the greatest paycheck, so there was no infinite to chase, but it was definitely that live to work feel, and that's why, like, man, it's a lot of like self-created depression surrounding that.
You get yourself as an artist, you get yourself in these depressive states of just,
let alone the fact that yes, I also wanted to be an artist, so like that was super killed.
Well, it's like complete hopelessness because you come to terms with and realization that for an artist, there's, you know, looking for Alaska, they speak of a great perhaps. And as an artist, you're always seeking for said great perhaps, the newest thing, the biggest thing, whatever it is that you're looking for. you realize your day-to-day process, while that is essentially a hopeful end goal, you're kind of still stuck in the rotation of waking up, doing your day, going to sleep, and
Yeah.
all over again. And that like repetitive motion like can kill somebody who's an artist who experiences life as something a little more.
You need some unpredictability.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Otherwise, it gets monotonous.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, at the shop, there are weeks when people come in and they want, I want platinum blonde highlights with a trim, and I don't want a whole lot off. I just
That's
want
the
like
voice they
an
use?
inch. Yes.
That's the
Yes. And you do like 20 of those in a day, and you're just not creative. It doesn't feel good after a while, and you have to mix it up, mix your interests up, even if it's within the same hobby.
Is that where the idea for barberness came from, or did you always have that plan?
Honestly, I kind of always had the intention of going to barber school. I think the real kicker was when I went to beauty school and started learning their cutting specialty systems. They told me I couldn't use a straight razor, like without a guard. And I don't particularly care for people to tell me that I can't do something. So
I get it.
So I already knew that I wanted to master something like that, which meant I was going to have to go to barbering school anyway. And then I started getting more and more men's cuts at work. And I mean, it's what I was good at. It's what I enjoyed doing. I enjoy sculpting and creating and whatever it is that they need from me. It's nice to just be that for a person, be it a listener, advocate, whatever.
Did you know you were signing up for that, to be a psychiatrist?
No, fuck no. No, and had I known, I think I may have chosen a little bit different of a career path, maybe. But the satisfaction that you get out of it really is pretty intense. Once you get in it, it's really hard to get out of it, because that feeling of fulfilling somebody else's needs is very fulfilling for me personally, and I know the people I work with feel the same way. So I mean, that's why we do what we do. To begin with, it's all about, what's the word I'm looking for?
My psychic powers are off. I have no idea what word it is.
I mean, I guess it's a few different things. It's sympathy, it's, nurturing, it's all kinds of different things. Whatever that person needs you to be. That person, sometimes those people need me to be there, a kick in their ass, and you know what? You don't realize it at the time, but when you do it, it frustrates you, but they usually wind up coming back and saying, like, I get it. So, I mean, it just takes thick skin, I guess. Took a while.
When I first met you, where are you in the on the path to this? Like, so when I'm going to your parents' house and we're cutting me in the bathroom with the triple mirrors, where are you in the actual? Because I don't get to Moxie till like many years, till you get super busy, till you're on superstar status. So like, where were you in the real world, like outside of cutting me at your places?
I mean, I guess, are you asking like
were you assistant already? Were you even part of Moxie already by the time?
when I was cutting your hair, I had just when I first started cutting your hair, I had just started assisting at Moxie for Maddie. And
So could you have even cut me at Moxie at that time, or no?
yeah, actually, I could have. She was, like I said, she's been awesome to me. She's been one of the best things that's happened in my career, because she's...
Shout out to Maddie.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. She has allowed me to not only go back to school while working for her, she's always been so willing to sit down and listen to what's going on with you. And while she may not have the perfect answer for you, she does what she can, and she does it with a smile as best as she can. We all have our days, but she's a phenomenal woman. She goes above and beyond what she has to do for her employees. And really, she's Mama Maddie. She takes care of all of us.
Damn.
Like
5-star general.
Oh yeah, strong woman, super strong woman, very intelligent in her own way. And
I feel bad because I think you've told me I've met her, but I still don't have her synced in my head. So like
she's
I don't
like
know.
So redhead.
Was she there last time?
Yes, she was. And you said hi to her too.
Did I?
You did.
I said hi to everybody though.
You did.
So I feel like I said hi to 90% of the staff.
You do, and usually the only other person that you don't get to say hi to is the other receptionist who's not yet there. So I feel like,
Yeah.
we're a pretty small group right now. Once we move, we'll have more people coming in to work for us. But at this point, really, it's going to be, I think there's like 7 stylists and 2 receptionists. So we have a nice little family going on.
Is it gonna like double?
Probably.
Yeah. So I won't. Well, first off, I probably won't even be here. But second off, I won't be able to talk to every single person anymore.
No, but you'll remember the OGs for sure. Go. Like that's something that we've learned to appreciate these last few
I'm surprised
years.
people remember me because it's like they weren't cutting me. They were I talked to Jess. That's the first time I talked to Jess in like months because I haven't been coming as often as I used to, and she still remembered me. Took me a while because she changed so much. Her with the style of hair she had and everything.
Well, and she's lost a lot of weight too. She broke her ankle. I don't know if you remember that.
I didn't see.
She broke her ankle on a skateboard, and
that's what's up.
Again,
I mean, if you're gonna break it, like, we
were like, "What were you doing?" She was like, "I was on a skateboard and I didn't even get to do anything cool." I was like, "Oh."
No, but she was on a skate. Sometimes, man, I some of my friends, man, they break their legs and in all kinds of places. And like, what were you doing? I was walking down the stairs. I was like, man, that sucks. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
fair enough. Fair enough.
At least she attempted,
Right? Like, at least she hopped on and tried it out.
I've only done skateboarding for 4 hours total in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I probably will not do it again unless I have some professional trainer with me because I think one of the gifts and curse I can have is sometimes I especially now, man, with a lot of the meditating and training I do, I can like sort of maybe ignore pain, and so
Fair.
Without even knowing how to ollie or even ride a board, like maybe because I think I was around my brother and he can skateboard. Like I wasn't going down ramps because I was falling down ramps, but I was trying to go down ramps and I can't even ride the board straight yet.
But you got on the ramp.
But I saw him and he made it seem easy and he told me, so he's like, if you just push your weight forward, or I was like, if I just go forward, cool. And I would go forward, but then I would really go forward.
And then you would really go forward.
And I kept landing on my wrist, and at that time I was kind of a big guitar player and I was like, this doesn't seem good for what I'm trying to do, so I stopped.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny how you have to like give and take for certain careers. I mean,
yeah,
it's pretty hard to do your job both as a musician and a hairstylist and or barber, like whatever it is that involves hands. If you fucking break them, you're SOL. Pretty much. I mean, you have your tools. So
yeah, man.
Take care of them. It's hard. Yeah, everybody gets excited in life with skateboards, I guess. Seems like that's pretty common, accident prone.
I mean, like even the people who are good at it, they get bodied hard too. Like it's just because like when you watch people who are good at it, we're watching a lot of these highlight videos, and even they'll tell you themselves, like, yeah, that's the runs I made. But in order to do that stuff, I had to not make it a lot of times. And that's not in the video because that's not what we're trying to sell,
No, that's not what we're trying to get you to look at.
Yeah.
No, we're not.
But yeah, like sometimes when I see those videos being made, it's just like, yo, I'm gonna do this trick. I ain't leaving till this trick is done. So you'll just get 100 runs and dude just bust his ass 100 times, you know?
Isn't that just kind of like, it's kind of funny though that, I mean, you bust ass, but there are those few moments when you get it that first go round or you almost get it, and it's just kind of nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Like those moments do happen, Abe. Those
No,
moments
they do.
happen.
I'm not saying, hey man, I ain't saying I'm out here failing all the time.
I'm all out failing. No.
But I think sometimes I do suffer from maybe not appreciating them enough in the moment, because sometimes you're so caught up in things or the thing that you forget to enjoy the thing in the first place.
Fear of failure, rather.
I know. I
guess.
think less fear of failure and more like, no, I gotta keep doing. I gotta keep working. I gotta get more. Like this ain't it. I haven't made it yet. You know, stuff like that. So I forget. Sometimes you're on the roller coaster going up, and you don't even notice that you're going up because you're just working, or you're just so caught up in whatever it is that you forget to enjoy it. You know.
That's true.
So.
Well, and then it passes by super fast.
Yeah, yeah, and then you're like, fuck, like that was it. I didn't even enjoy that. You know.
Yeah.
So. Like.
Yeah. Well, isn't that? I feel like that's kind of part of doing what you like to do, though. You know.
Yeah. But I mean, like, so, like, see, so now I don't play live as much anymore, and I think it wasn't, or at all, but it wasn't maybe till like the last couple of shows where I was like really enjoying it, cause one, I probably had done it enough to be super comfortable with it, and with the guys and everybody, but like, yeah, you know, like now I can appreciate it and look back, but in the beginning, like I probably had like this, you know, like. Not that it's work, but you know, I had this mentality of organizing the whole thing and booking it and all that. So you're just so caught up in all these other things, you forget to like enjoy it too, because it's fun. You're just playing music.
It
You
was
know?
right. When you don't have a to-do list, of course.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
fun at that point.
Yo, so how did you become superstar?
Superstar?
Not superstar, but you're like incredibly hard to book at Moxie right now. Yeah,
So really, I've been there for 6 years. That's part of it, is honestly being in the same spot for a long period of time. It just kind of it sets you up for success, really. Because I mean, if somebody already knows where you're at and they don't know where else to go, of course it's going to be easy to gear back towards what you know. And a lot of times, you know, we're fortunate that these people actually come in and, you know, we have a really good success rate of the people leaving being in love with what we've done for them. And that's kind of, I mean, really where I had to get started was, you know, being there all the time and taking those few people who just kind of walked in. And then after that, my name started getting out there, word of mouth. I mean, I've never
you
paid.
heard JG, man? She's the shit.
I've never paid for advertising ever. I just don't.
Is that a thing? Like for you guys, any of y'all?
None of us pay for advertising. I know there are a lot of salons, however, that will pay Yelp or whatever to get an advertisement out, and that's awesome if that's what they feel like they need to do. But personally, I don't want to attract the masses. I want to attract the people that are similarly minded to myself.
TRU.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is like, what a better way to do that than to have clientele that you enjoy go tell other people that they enjoy to come see you. I mean, like that.
Organic growth.
Exactly. And over 6 years, I've had, you know, one person found us by chance on internet and came in, and then she told two of her friends, who told two of their friends, who told two of their friends, and it just builds.
Yeah.
And then on top of them bringing in their friends, they also bring their kids in and their husbands, and then you are doing full families that are.
Does that happen? Do you get booked for like a block and it's just like you just cutting the family?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I do, and I have a few families that it's like, you know, they have 3 and 4 kids and they book them all at the same time and they all come in and see me, and it's, you know, you watch them grow up and it's cool. And eventually those kids tell their friends, and then their parents come in as well. I mean, it's just a never-ending growing process. As long as you're doing what you do well, at which, in my opinion, like, knowledge is confidence. If you know what you're doing, then
I don't think I've ever heard it like that before. I'm used to knowledge is power, but knowledge is confidence.
knowledge is confidence. If you know what you're doing and you know the outcome, then how can how can you fail? It's and even in the color world, while that may not always be the indefinite outcome, you know your possibilities, and that's really where you get to be an artist and make those decisions and things like that. It's all in what you feed yourself, what you feed your information brain, all of that fun stuff. It definitely, it correlates to what you do. And you can't quit learning ever in any kind of artistry because it constantly changes. So, and that's part of, I think, also what makes us, me, Moxie in general, so successful is that we all have gone out and sought out
Better skills and stuff.
more education, continued education beyond, the hours that we had to do at beauty school, or even beyond the hours that I had to do at barbering school. We've gone, Maddie took us to California one summer for a cutting class in LA, and that was like I geeked out so hard. It was so much fun. And of course, in the beginning, we were all super frustrated because they took us back to the basics, and we were like, but that's not how I want to do it. But that's not how it's supposed to look. And you got frustrated. And then the next day when you came in and you finally got to detail it and finish it, it was like, okay, I feel better about this. But it really put into perspective for us how important both sides of haircutting were. And I mean, she flew us to LA for that. Like, that's kind of a neat thing to do.
How often do people like me come where it's just like, first time I told you just do whatever you want, as long as I'm not bald or something like that?
Yeah,
How many people give you like just freedom?
I have quite a large quantity of my clientele tells me that now.
And do women do that? Because I feel like I haven't met too many who they always have what they want with their hair, versus a lot of men definitely are more like me and don't care as much.
Well, I think granted, for sure I get guidelines. Like, I don't want to have to shave my neck, or my hair is really thick. I don't want it to be super thinned out with thinning shears, though. Like, I mean, there's certain specifications that people will give you, men and women. And standardly, women have a few more than men. But for the most part, I have several women who come in and kind of let me go ham on their hair, really. I mean, and I tell them all the time, I'm like, thank you so much for letting me play with your hair today, because that's exactly what I got to do. Is I got to have fun and create and play. Mind you, keeping in mind that these people have occupations, families, lifestyles that they have to live up to and keep in mind, and you also have to keep those things in mind. So really, once you've built that relationship with a client, it's so much easier to be able to do something like that, where I have several clients who come and sit in my chair and say, do whatever, I trust you. I have one lady in particular, every time she comes in, she'll sit in my chair and she goes, I trust. She closes her eyes and we cut her hair. And that's just kind of like, I mean, it was the coolest thing that has ever happened.
I'm going to say that next time. I trust.
I trust.
That's the code word.
I trust.
Yes.
Well, and I mean, it's a nifty feeling, because it's a security blanket for a lot of people. And granted, it grows back. It does grow back.
For now.
Yeah. Hey,
for now.
It keeps me occupied with a job. Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, it does grow back, so if you didn't like it or whatever, it can adjust. But I mean, how many things in life really are so permanent that you can't adjust them? Um, and that's kind of the beauty of it is, you know, when you do get the opportunity to have somebody trust you because you have gone through the motions of finding out what they like and do not like. That's it's like fucking dating. It's really is like doing someone's hair is like dating. You have to listen to them and
Can you teach me how to cut hair for like one day, and then maybe I'll learn how to date someone?
I mean, sure. Maybe that'll help, right?
You just said it's like dating. Maybe this is what I've been doing wrong.
Well,
Gave her the magic shush.
I know.
The
magic shush.
Yeah, as soon as he came, she was like, "Oh, my bad, my bad."
It's funny how that works out.
But yeah, can I learn the secrets through hair cutting to date it?
I'm like, you know, honestly, like my love life is, you know, I mean, it's not so awesome all the time either. So I feel like there's no I can't help you out there. But if you want to be an amazing hairstylist, I might have your back. Like,
could be the first dude at Moxie. Is that gonna happen? Is it gonna be a dude at Moxie one day?
There was totally a possibility that will happen. We're looking into it further.
R&D, it's in R&D right now.
He would be moving from LA if he was. And
you only bringing in big dogs now.
Hell yeah. No, he is interesting. He kind of came to Maddie really out of nowhere and had researched our salon and found out what it was like. And he, you know, like, I want to work for you. So he's trying to dial down his clientele. He's definitely trying to be in a more peaceful situation in terms of busyness, but still wanting to keep a certain type of either, I don't know, style or, you know, place of work that he's at. He wants it to be chill. I mean, he will probably be one of the more ideal male people to bring in just because he has the experience and stuff like that. Beyond that, we haven't had a whole lot of guys come and ask to apply.
Yeah.
A lot of it has been women. But the few guys that have come and asked, they would have to start off like assistant program style. So what we're looking for is people who are a little more established. And it seems as though from my perspective that a lot of men tend to want to work for themselves. That's why they kind of go into this industry in the first place. A lot of guys want to have their own business, their own hours, be their own boss and still have that creative outlet. And that, I mean, really it's just kind of ideal for them to do their own thing. That's what I've experienced more often than not. But other than that, I don't see why we wouldn't if they had the passion for it and they had the drive to be a part of our team and be a part of our family and nix all the catty BS, which shouldn't be hard, like really shouldn't be that hard. I feel like, then everything's going to be gravy. So hopefully, this guy continues to make his way down to San Antonio.
100%. Important.
I'm interested in learning. Teach me.
Oh, man.
Right.
See, you still got that's good, man. That's good to have that hungry. I feel like that I think, because maybe music wasn't meant to be like my final thing, because I felt like that happened for me for music, where I think I just wanted to stop learning. Like, or I just didn't continue. Maybe I can just start again and maybe I'll get a different feeling. Maybe that was the missing element, I don't know. But I think I definitely did like kind of stop learning, and I got comfortable with certain things I like to do, and maybe that's why it got less exciting for me,
That's definitely part of it, is like, if you want to be comfortable in something, that's great. But usually to be better. It's to further your education and to learn more, because something that you're doing may have something come along that's super easy and takes much less time and much less effort to produce the same thing. And then what?
Yeah.
You've missed out on that opportunity, and there are these other people going over here, and you're sit there doing the same thing. And I mean, that's really what it is if you don't want to do the same thing, then don't. Go learn.
Bacon.
Eggs.
Yeah. Actually, that's probably one of the best call and responses I've gotten for that.
Is it really?
Because I don't get real responses. I usually get, I don't know, like what? That's usually what I get. Yeah. All right. But here, I was gonna ask a fun one for you. Like, yo, why Disney, man?
Oh,
Why?
Disney. Oh, Walter Disney. So I just, in general, Walter Disney, the person himself, for me, is a huge, huge role model.
So it actually goes back to that, more less than even the stuff? Like,
It goes beyond his creations. I mean, his creations are amazing, and I think getting an opportunity to kind of peek into his mind a little bit is fascinating. So, yes, the movies are phenomenal, and the characters are wonderful, and the things that they've come up with are magical, but he himself, being the common denominator for all of it, he didn't take himself so seriously. One of my favorite quotes by him is, I'm not Walter Disney. Walter Disney doesn't smoke. Walter Disney doesn't drink. I smoke, I drink. He didn't take himself seriously at all. Like, he knew that he had this person that he had to be, but he also knew who he really was. And in a world where you are dealing with people and standards, sometimes you have to fall into them, and it sucks. And you don't really get to be who you are all the time, but just because you don't get to be that way all the time doesn't mean that you can't be who you are. You can still have those moments of solitude and genuinely enjoy who you are as a person, and be and say what you need to stay true to that. And he's one of the few people that I've ever heard of that felt that way. And maybe it seems a little two-faced, but it's not so much two-faced as it is putting the shoe on the other foot. I feel like you're giving somebody else, taking away the judgment aspect of things and allowing somebody else to say, this is how a person should be. And you're just kind of like, okay, that's fine. If that's what you think, then that's whatever. And then when they're not there, you know what? You can be who you need to be to make yourself happy. But again, infringement upon other people, taking away that judgment, taking away that need to be, what's the word? Entitled, I guess. I mean, really, that's what it is. You're not better than any other person. I think his ideas, I'm like, just, I can't even begin to explain. He was an innovator. He was somebody who constantly strived for something better than himself, all the while not allowing fear of failure to be part of that. It was like, if it didn't work out, that sucked. Like, but he tried again. I mean, his first original character that he ever created, it got stolen from him by another company.
well, what character was that?
Mortimer Mouse.
I feel like maybe I've heard of that, but it's not coming to me. I like that it's still a mouse though. It's still
Yeah, he had this like Steamboat Willie and all of that stuff was not his first original works. He had so many beyond that. Prior to that, he used to do comic strips and newspaper and things of that nature. I mean, that wasn't his first character, but he got there. He eventually, even with having something taken from him and realizing the importance of owning what's yours and realizing the importance of standing up for yourself, all the while being a gentleman about it. You know, he started off pretty poor and made himself a huge commodity. And even beyond the time of his, you know, living days, he's still literally a part of every person's home, like almost in the world. And that to me, that's just crazy. That's like, what a person to look up to. Somebody who didn't take themselves so seriously, but still has such an impact on everything.
I didn't even know you like him as much. I thought you just like the Disney brand, but I didn't even know you liked that.
Oh yeah, no. He like Disney World and everything like that is. I mean, obviously, like child at heart, totally my favorite place in the world to go. World Showcase is like at Epcot is the closest you'll ever come to traveling the world without actually having to travel the world.
I feel like I really need to go to both Disney World and Land and see what the big fuss is about, because I have been to Disney World, but I was a child, so like I was drugged there. Yeah, like it's a combination of I probably didn't want to be there and probably also didn't know what was happening exactly because I was just way too young. But yeah, I hear grown-ups, you know, like you and many other people who still talk about this place like it's great. So I'm like, I guess I have to check it out one day.
It's the happiest place on earth, dude. Like
I know they say that. I don't know if I can believe that from them, but I mean, like.
But I mean, really though, if you think about, I mean, they have Imagineers and things of that nature, people that they encourage and support to be good at innovating new technology, and they encourage them to be innovators that can then and there put that work into their part. You know, the animatronics, the building, everything. And recently they just created a dress for Sleeping Beauty that turns pink and blue. Like, I don't know how they do it, but they did it. Somebody did it, and it was crazy. And I mean, somebody figured that out within their team.
Yeah.
And somebody within their team had that idea at one point. And to me, for Disney to just be like, hey, that's awesome, let's try that out. Like, they do that every day with several different people on large and small scale. They're just entrepreneurs, I guess.
That's the first time I hear Disney described in an entrepreneurial sense. I mean, I get what you mean, but I'm just so used to like people being described as entrepreneurs, you know, as a countermeasure to being your own boss, or not countermeasure, but you know, as to being your own boss. But.
Well, I mean, I think you don't necessarily have to be your.
Because at this point, they're a corporation. That's why, so people see them differently. You know, like,
well, right, but all the while they're still working for somebody, they're still being inspired to take their personal ideas and really shift them into something bigger.
Yeah.
I think that ability of teamwork just goes beyond a single mind. I mean, while a single mind might be very interesting and unique, you can always, I mean, there's always room for growth. We've talked about. So
yeah,
why not? You know, why not have somebody above you telling you, do it, figure it out, and supporting you through that. You know, that's kind of, I imagine there's some give and take there, but you know, within reason, as any business standpoint, you have to make decisions on what's going to work and what won't. And but there's still people out there who have had these ideas that have been created into robots that look like real people and talking animals and like all kinds of things, rides, roller coasters, what have you, 3D images, holograms, I mean all kinds of things that they have created solely because they've had the support of Disney behind them. Like that's really where that amazes me. That's where that comes in, I guess. As an entrepreneur per se.
All right. I'm gonna hit you with the life questions now. That way you can get back to your normal life. Like literally.
Oh shit. All right, ready?
Well, you know the first one's always the classic.
Oh.
What's your goal in life?
You and I have had this conversation before. So I mean,
many a time.
I'm just gonna tell you what I always tell you. My goal in life is to be happy. I mean, really, whatever that means. I don't know what it'll mean for tomorrow, but if it makes me happy tomorrow, and I will feel like, I don't know, if I feel like going swimming tomorrow instead of going to work, which I didn't say that, but if I need a mental health day, I'm gonna take it. Long term, though, I would hope that everything that I choose to do is something that's eventually going to benefit in some form of happiness. You know, I don't want to live life in contentment. I feel like that's what everybody else kind of gets stuck in.
I feel like I normally say, how do you go about doing that? But I feel like you answered it with whatever that means at the time.
I mean, really, like, and it can change. I feel like things, especially my personality, is very ebb and flow. Some days I definitely feel one way, and others I feel a certain other way. It just kind of depends on what's going on in my life. And reality of it is, I mean, as long as what I'm doing isn't affecting other people in a negative way, then why shouldn't I make myself happy? It's just kind of, why not?
Word.
Why not? I'm like, happiness. What was it, John Lennon?
You told me I'm not the biggest Beatles guy.
I'm gonna totally skew this, but I think John Lennon said, my teacher gave me a paper and asked us what we wanted to do with our lives, and I said to be happy, and she handed me my paper back with an F and told me that I didn't understand the assignment. Told me that I didn't understand the assignment.
Sometimes, man.
She said that I didn't understand the assignment, and I told her that she didn't understand life.
Bars. What? How old were you when you said that?
Right? Like, but
seriously, how old were you when you said that?
And I imagine, he was probably in high school because, talking about reaching forward in life and, what else are you going to do with your life kind of thing.
That's crazy. Young JL.
Oh, absolutely. Old soul for sure. But that's just it.
I ain't even asked you about that, the old soulness.
Oh, yeah.
Don't even gotta go down it. That's for another time. But yeah.
Nope. My 80-year-old man at heart.
There you go. Damn, an 80-year-old man.
80-year-old man at heart.
That should be the name of the episode, 80-year-old man at heart.
Do it. Do it.
All right, so the next batch of questions, I actually told them to you, not as questions, but like I do 2 meditations a day, and one of them is like a self-talk thing, so I just flip them to questions. But who do you have compassion for?
Who do I have compassion for?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
And I gotta start having a second phone. I have like all these notes on there, but now that my phone is my camera, yeah, they're all on there. So like I don't know what I mean by that, but just whatever you think that question is. Who do you have compassion for? If you need to define the word compassion, do that, because I can't either, because I don't have my phone. But I mean, well,
I mean, to me, compassion is it's neither understanding or misunderstanding a situation. It is simply being able to console a person based on just genuinely giving a fuck, for lack of better words. You know, and I don't know, compassion is something that, while I like to think I'm good at giving out compassion to certain people, I'm also pretty guarded with it. So I guess it's kind of a toss-up. Like, there's different levels of compassion for different people. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But really, first and foremost, my family. I mean, my parents are fucking rad. I've been...
Shout out to the parents.
Shout out to the parents. They've been my number one support system from the get-go. And granted, we've fought and disagreed and all sorts of things, but at the end of the day, they've never told me that I've embarrassed them or make them disappointed. You know,
Still time.
It's
Just
hey, fuck you, man. You know, they always tell me how proud they are of me, and despite whatever fuck ups I may have,
yeah.
The understanding that I'm human and not perfect is still there. They're just very reasonable people. I feel like I've been really blessed with two people who are very willing to be open-minded and loving despite whatever it is that I choose to do.
All right.
Good, bad, or indifferent.
Next one. 3 things you're thankful for in life, career, whatever.
Like, can I say alcohol and weed? Is that a thing? Like,
It's your question. This ain't my question. I ain't grading you. I ain't that teacher.
I ain't that teacher.
Ain't no F's here, man.
What am I thankful for? I mean, yeah, I'm probably gonna have to put. I'm gonna have to put my thanks into a little bit of my, you know, personal leisures, smoking cigarettes,
Nothing wrong with that.
weed.
Yeah.
I have some of my best conversations with myself in those moments. They give me my alone time.
That's your meditation.
I don't get a lot of it, you know. I'm with people all day, listening to people talk all day, and while I love that, I love what I do, I still, like any other person, need my time to myself. And that 5-minute cigarette break that you've got on your own to think about whatever it is you need to think about, it can be a lifesaver.
When I see you at Moxie, I'm like never gonna. I'm gonna just leave you alone when you smoke.
No, usually if I want you to leave me alone, I'll tell you, I'm inside. Let's see. The relationships that I've found in my lifetime, I'm very thankful for. Ones that have come and go, and ones that are still here. It doesn't matter. They've all been incredibly useful to me as a human being. And the third thing, would probably have to be I don't know. I guess my ability to fly by the seat of my pants. I'm thankful for it, because I feel like if I wasn't as spontaneous as I am, as I require myself to be to continue kind of moving forward in life, I think I would have been really stuck a long time ago. While I've been in the position of letting those things scare me and not be spontaneous, it seems that having that back really has been, and it's taught me a lot, and it's taken me places that I've wanted to go, and you can't get there if you don't try. So I'm thankful for my spontaneity.
There you go. All right. Next one is, Next one's the dog. That's
Is that bark, bark?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think she said
she
fuck
asked
you.
it for me.
Okay, gotcha.
So answer that. That's not. Now the next one is one person that you want to forgive, and one person that you want to forgive you, and if you can, say why.
Someone I want to forgive.
Yeah.
Like, this one's tough right now. I mean, the situation that I'm in.
Word.
Because it's not even a matter of wanting to. I mean, it would be nice to be able. It would be nice to forgive, but at this point, it's just kind of one of those things that's like, I don't have it. It's not that I'm going to wish poorly upon that person or.
I forgive your dog for making all this noise.
Yeah, forgive my dog. There you go. That's it. I forgive her. I wish I could forgive her for being a turd Ferguson. That's what I wish. And somebody to forgive me. Honestly, probably my friend Courtney. She passed away, unfortunately, when she was 15. I was 14, and of course, was so caught up in a boy at the time. I was in high school that I didn't get to spend a lot of time with her in the last year of her life, and I really wish I had the opportunity to do things a little differently, for sure. Granted, while I know she forgives me, it's still something that I'm kind of seeking at the same time.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Where do you see yourself in 3 years?
Oh, geez. High as a kite. No.
Yeah. Next. You're like, next question?
No. In 3 years, honestly, I would like to see myself maybe in a little more of a stable environment in terms of home life. Like, actually, settling down in a house, having somewhere to be that was my own, something to work on and work towards. Career-wise, 3 years can take me so many different directions with what I'm doing. I feel like it would be pretty rad to say, like, oh, I'm gonna be super booking it at Moxie all the time in 3 years or whatever. But again, spontaneity says that I change my mind every 5 seconds. So I can't really put a pin on that yet. I know that I want to be great at what I do, and I've been working towards that. I think it's just a matter of how much further where I want to go with that. Do I want to continue doing that here in San Antonio? Do I want to move it elsewhere outside of state? Do I want to do something entirely different? I think it'll just kind of depend on really where my heart leads me at this point. At this point I love what I do. So if in 3 years I'm still at Moxie with a little more stable of a clientele, living in a nice home with, maybe not doing paycheck to paycheck as often as I am, it would be
great.
It'd be great.
All right. What is the perfect day?
All haircuts all day long. No, like at work or just in general.
It's your question, man. You should be rejoiced. You have the spontaneity because you're right. It's your question. You can do whatever you want.
I mean, really,
I probably mean more the person, though.
Like,
yeah.
Like Wanderlust, I just have an incredible amount of wanting to explore, be it people or places. It's just learning about minds and things and events and stuff like that have always intrigued me. So, I mean, I guess that would be the perfect day would be an adventure somewhere with somebody I find intriguing.
All right. Where does your like strength or will come from, like to carry on, like faith or faith in you, like faith in a higher power?
Um, Honestly, to be real, there are definitely. I mean, it's really boils down to my parents. Like, I can't imagine. I can't imagine not continuing on. I can't imagine just not being here all of a sudden because it would hurt them so much. And to me, knowing that somebody loves you that much, it's worth it to stick around. Despite even when you're in those moments of like, I don't know why the fuck I'm doing this anymore. That's really it.
You know, you kind of make me feel guilty right now.
Oh, please don't. Like everybody has their own reasoning. Everybody has relationships. Their parents' relationships are different.
Yeah.
I grew up, my parents were my friends. I moved so many times that they were my friends. I didn't have like a group of girls or guys that I could really like go to and talk to. They weren't my push forward. My parents always were. So it's just, I mean, I'm sure it varies from person to person. They're just mine.
All right. Here's the last one. Is I like, I wish, I wonder. I like that I did. I wish I had done, I believe, because again, the notes are over there.
Right.
And I wonder what would have happened if.
Let's see. I like that I have always been super stubborn in what I want because it's definitely led me into some pretty awesome things. I definitely can think of a few times that I wish that I had listened to people a little more, maybe.
Yeah.
Put my pride aside and kind of really get somewhere, maybe. It's a little different than where am at or what have you. Not that I regret where I'm at, but maybe it would have been a little easier to get here. And I wonder, well, honestly, I wonder what would have happened had I not found my way into Moxie. Like, I wonder where I would have gone. I not that I don't like where I'm at Moxie at all. I'm in love with it. I'm glad that I found it, but that's what I wonder is like, I feel like what could have been better than this? And I guess obviously nothing because that's where I'm at. But what other pathways could I have gone down and what would they have led to? You know, would I be bigger in a different state? Would I be a teacher doing something else with hair? I mean, just infinite possibilities. And my career all started because I found Moxie. That's really it.
All right. That's pretty much it. Then now you, normally I'm with artists and shit, so I'm like, if you want to plug anything, but I don't know if you got, I guess for you it would be more, where can they get haircuts from you?
Moxie Hair Salon, 6102 Broadway, Suite B4, 78209. Ask
Damn,
for Jenna
everything.
Garza. Like, I don't know.
Any last words? You don't have to have any. Besides that, that could be the last words right there for you. That's what's up.
Got Moxie.
There you go. Got Moxie. There you go. That's actually good. Hashtag got Moxie.
Hashtag got Moxie.
All right. Bake that chicken, smoke that turkey. Peace.
Peace.
Or boosh. That's actually what I'm
Boosh.
supposed to say. I forgot.
Nah, let me stop. Remember you, Leon and me, went to Whitestone to see a classic movie to be, but too young were we for Bruce Willis stories. Still your best, some nice stories. Sixth Sense was the movie, but as kids it was poopy. We all young, so we don't pay rent. Means extra money to spend. That being said, we too cheap to take a bus. We walk over there, we don't give a fuck.